Welcome back, gamers. It's not often that a game almost 2 decades old receives the level of love and attention that makes the field completely revitalized, and Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is just that. A modernized trip down memory lane, rebuilt to honor the 26 classic while smoothing out its once rough edges for the new generation of gamers. For veterans and newcomers alike, this remaster isn't just a fresh coat of paint, instead it's a celebration of what made Dead Rising so iconic, with thoughtful gameplay improvements and impressive visual overhaul. Dead Rising has always been about excess. Whether it's the unending hordes of the zombies, or the absurdity of using anything you can find in a mall as a weapon, the series carved a niche for itself as a go-to chaotic zombie experience. And Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster doubles down on this legacy by polishing out the experience without losing the core of what made the game so unique. One of the most noticeable changes from the original release is the breathtaking visual overhaul, all thanks to Capcom's RE engine, which has been using a spectacular effect here, as the mall is more vibrant and packed with detail than ever before. And each section of the mall is reimagined with distinct themes that make it feel alive in a way that was impossible 18 years ago. From the Wild West influences in the food court to the space age atmosphere in the Wonderland Plaza, every area in the game feels more impressive, drawing you deeper into the experience. And while the daytime lighting beautifully illuminates every corner, the nighttime sequences feel darker and more atmospheric than the original. Some areas, especially after dark, are so drenched in the shadows that it's a genuine challenge to see your surroundings. And while this adds a layer of tension, it can occasionally feel like an unnecessary hurdle, especially when scavenging for glowing weapons like the Toy Sword. And at the core of Dead Rising's appeal is its deceptively sharp narrative. What starts as a goofy zombie-filled romp through a suburban mall quickly unravels into a bleak, socially critical commentary on American consumery and corporate greed. Frank West, the photojournalist protagonist, remains as iconic as ever, thrust into the chaotic scenarios as he attempts to uncover the truth behind the zombie outbreak. And the time structure of the story is still in place, with players needing to balance solving the main mysteries while also rescuing survivals and tackling side missions. The time pressure is a staple of the series, and it returns in full force here, adding a palpable sense of urgency to every moment you spend inside the mall. And this version retains the original storyline, but recasts much of the boys' work, which for me is okay as I don't remember much of the game, but I know that a lot of people haven't liked this so far, mainly the supporting cast. And where this game truly shines is in its gameplay improvements, as they make the experience so much accessible without stripping away the chaotic fun. At the heart, Dead Rising is about improvisation, as you're thrown into a mall with a ridiculous number of zombies and tasked with fighting them off using whatever is in your hand. Whether it's a lawnmower, baseball bat, or a toy sword, the sense of creative survival has always been the series' bread and butter, and it returns to full force here, though with a bit more polish. The controllers in particular have seen much needed overhaul. Gone are the awkward inputs of the original that often left you fumbling for buttons in the middle of intense encounters. Special moves like Frank's signature dodge and roll are now mapped to a simpler button press, making the gameplay feel smoother and more intuitive. This change, although small on the surface, is a huge quality of life improvement that makes every encounter feel less frustrating and more fun. And another area that sees major improvements is the AI. In the original, rescuing survivors was often a hair-pulling experience due to the clunky pathfinding and the unresponsive behavior, but in this game, survivors are much smarter and far more responsive. They'll stick closer to Frank, navigate through the zombie hordes more effectively, and even contribute in combat if you equip them properly, meaning there are fewer headaches for players, especially when managing large groups of survivors. Also, there's a new affinity system that gives survivors distinct preferences for weapons and items, adding another layer of strategy when managing your party. But despite these improvements, some longtime fans might find that this game is a bit too easy now. Take for instance Frank's leveling system, which allows him to become more overpowered fairly early in the game, and the once punishing difficulty of escorting survivors or tackling psychopath bosses has been toned down significantly. And this compound with the ability to fast forward time, making the game's infamous ticking clock less of an obstacle. This title's difficulty, while more approachable, feels less punishing, which strips away some of the original intents for veteran players. The boss fights, or the psychopath battles, are among Dead Rising's most memorable moments, and this title takes steps to improve them, though not always for the better. On one hand, bosses are less susceptible to the janky control issues that plagued the original. They now move more dynamically and use the environment to their advantage, and generally provide a more engaging challenge. However, the boss fights have been retooled in ways that makes them feel more drawn out. Cleet as the gun shop owner, for example, is no longer the easy target he once was, as he now ducks behind the counters and uses cover effectively. Although this shift is a welcome challenge, it can at times slow the pace of the game, especially when compared to the frantic, fast-paced nature of the rest of the game. In my opinion, for a game that has been re-released multiple times, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster stands out as the best way to experience Capcom's zombie classic. Its visual overhaul is stunning, adding a new level of detail and atmosphere to the mall, while the gameplay refinements make it easier than ever to pick up and play. While longtime fans might miss the harsher difficulty of the original, the remaster's quality of life improvements makes the game more accessible to newcomers without sacrificing its chaotic charm. For me, this game is an 8.5 out of 10, and although it's not perfect, it is a game I could recommend to all of you, whether you're a veteran or a newcomer. If you've played the game, did you like it? Would you recommend it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching till the end. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a great day.